Hey. I said, excuse me, but you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world, on span, across the map. I've been laying low and now it's time to pop up, bitch, I'm back. Now I'ma run it up. Snooze on the kid that you dumb or what? You better go get your numbers up. Now throw me the oop. I gotta hire a Jerry Maguire. I'm tired of hearing this shit.
What's going on, yo? It's your boy William Zillions. We're here with iF0 Radio. You feel me? If you are unfamiliar with the iF0, it is the International Film Operational. It's an international film festival that exhibits films and gives opportunities to storytellers all across the world on a mission to provide rewarding experiences to filmmakers across the planet. Why? Because we care. I just want to get quick to it because we have a special guest tonight. I just had a chance to rap with her for like 5 seconds before kicking on this one, but it's gonna be good. The topic, short films, platform, iF0 Radio. The host, William Zillions. The guest, the queen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if we could take a second, I'd love for you to be able to let the people know who you are, name and location. That'd be cool to start it off with.
All right. So my name is Queen. I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, wow.
And I am a writer, director, filmmaker.
Well, all right. Well, then it's super appropriate that we got you on this conversation for this topic for tonight. We got short films as the convo. Now, how long have you been making films for? How long have you been in the creative space?
Professionally, I've been in Atlanta 7 years. I moved here to make movies. And I've been doing it professionally full time for 7 years. But I knew in the 8th grade that I was going to make movies. So yeah, I've always had a love for cameras. I knew when I was 5 that I was going to be a writer. Okay. And then I kind of just realized that I loved cameras. And then I just kind of married the two and said, you know what, I'm going to be a filmmaker. So
what was the story behind your first film project?
The first project I've done that I wrote and directed is called Things Fall Together. We shot it 2 years ago. 2 years ago this month, actually, we put it out. And basically, sometimes, when I'm at like a red light, or if I see something, if I'm out, looking out a window or wherever, I might see something on TV, and I'll just create an entire story based off of this first poster. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll create an entire story based off of something that I've seen. And so I seen this younger guy talking to this homeless man. And I don't know what they were conversing about. I was at the red light. And it just made me think of this story of how these two people are just friends, and I wrote a film based around this friendship between this college student and this homeless older guy. And they have like this unbreakable bond until a secret comes out from this older gentleman. He has a secret and he's been living this life. And, so once that secret is exposed, the young man, the college student, has to decide if he's going to continue his relationship, his friendship with this guy, with this homeless man, or if he's just going to cut him off.
Now I have to watch it. That's obvious. That's obvious without question. I have the link now, so I'll make sure I'll check it out after. Or maybe if maybe we could do like a cool first 5 to 10 minutes of it together at some point tonight before we get off. If you're down for that.
Let me know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that too. Just so it'd be an honor and privilege to be able to watch a movie with the person that cooked it up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want you to know that I'm they got me on this. They got me on the show as the host and for iF0 Radio. But I am not a filmmaker. You know what I'm saying? No? I would not say I'm a huge fan of the art. of filmmaking. I love movies. I love films. I was raised by television and some really good women, and I think that my format traditionally of watching movies has always been like big blockbuster Hollywood stuff. So when I started getting into being introduced to more short films through the iFO and seeing how much story was being compacted into these 30
Sure.
minute,
Yeah.
15-minute, 10-minute, 1 minute,
Yeah.
like I'm like, whoa, there's so much versatility. And I guess we'll get into this short film that did really well on the circuit. Eventually we'll talk about, it's called the Sniper.
Yeah.
But I watched that for like the first 3 to 4 minutes without no subtitles on, because there was no
It was
subtitles on without
very
the.
rarely a little talking in it.
And I'm like, yo, I still am locked into this. I know, I mean, I
Yeah.
think I know what's going on. What's going
Yeah.
on? I think I know I don't want to assume what this looks like. This is what's happening in this. And then just for me as a new short film appreciator, I think it opens the door to so many more stories for real.
Yes.
Like not everything need to be a big CGI spectacle, and especially when you got great characters, especially when you got some solid substance, plot
Yes.
structure on 1,000. Leave me on the I paid for the whole chair,
Yeah.
but I only need the edge of the seat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yes.
that's the stuff I'm looking for,
Yes.
especially in this realm. So I'm interested to know, like, um, are you traditionally trained in the art form? Did you start shooting as a like when you were in the fifth and the eighth grade, and were like when did like what was your process? What's your process? What's your journey? Where's the starting realm on here? What do we know
So
about the queen?
technically, yes, I am traditionally trained. I did go to film school. I went to Howard University. I went to Full Sail.
Okay.
Um, but I started before I even finished high school. So I in eighth grade, like I said, I discovered my love for cameras, and then I started like making short films, and I learned how to edit, and I taught myself, how to edit, how to shoot, how to do proper composition, framing, the whole nine,
Mhm.
before I even graduated high school. So when I got to college, I was a little bit more advanced than everybody else. And then I really went to college for the experience. I went, Howard's such an amazing school, and you just hear all about all the stuff, So I was like, you know what, let me go and get the experience. But you do end up meeting people. I met, people I still work with. They're on my team, they're on my crew. And it's a blessing to have, one or two people that's just sticking with you your entire journey, your entire career, and you just help each other and work with each other, and kind of elevate each other throughout this entire journey. But yes, I did go to film school. I am technically trained in filmmaking. I do have an education in it, but a lot of what I learned on set,
Yeah.
actually working hands on, getting my hands dirty.
Mm. What's your favorite genre of movie to make?
Action comedies.
Action
Action
comedy.
comedies.
So you mean
Action
like Rush
comedies.
Hour type shit? Like
Rush Hour, Bad Boys, Two Guns, those type movies. I love action comedies.
what was the first action comedy you saw that really locked it in for you, as far as saying like, yo, this is one of the things I want to express myself in?
Back to the Future.
What?
Back to the Future. I was a little
That,
girl watching Back to the Future on tape. And the movie just blew my mind with the graphics and the special effects, and just the storyline is like this kid goes back in time, and then they made a part two and a part three, and they were all connected. It was just mind-blowing to me. So that's really what kind of started turning my wheels a little bit. And then when I got older and I saw it again, that's when I started realizing, like, I can take what I have in my mind all the time, this imagination that's unlimited, and just turn it into something I can watch on TV. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what it kicked off for me.
Would you say you it's a random question.
Hmm.
As far as actions is like just like an action movie kind of question. Would you rather have to be inside of a zombie apocalypse movie or a kaiju apocalypse movie?
What is the kaiju apocalypse? What is that?
So like kaiju can be considered stuff like Godzilla, King
Mm.
Kong, Pacific Rim had a bunch of
Those
kaiju in it. Just
giant,
like
aliens,
giant,
beings.
destructive, just gonna just ruin everything if they walking around or if they pick their nose. It's just too large of an animal, really, not to cause damage.
You know what? I would probably say the kaiju because I can hide, they're destructive and stuff, but I'll just hide on Godzilla's big toe while he's rummaging
Mhm.
through the city. And see what with zombies, they're your size, and then they kind of turn in, they bite you or eat you, and then you turn into a zombie, and then you have, one zombie you turn into 50 in no time.
Real
So
fast.
yeah, I would rather deal with the giant guy.
Feel you. Oh, I love that answer. I stand by and support that answer, ladies and gentlemen. This is iFour Radio. I suggest you check us out everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, on all the socials, on International Film Operations. We got great content with some awesome creators out here. I'd love for y'all to check out the Queen's quality work. So your company is
Mhm.
Qii Films,
So,
correct? Is that the proper pronunciation for it?
yes.
What what's the history of Qii Films? First of all, I want to say I love the intro. I love how clean the like it's like all of these monuments from places from all over the world that stand out, and then it all comes together as if you're like an amalgamation of all of these wonders of the world. You know what I'm saying? And then like
Yeah.
boom, like Key. So for me already, I'm locked in. Like, what's up? Like, what's the history here? Like, what is your story? What is the motivation, inspiration behind Key Films?
So with the intro, the animated logo, basically it's just meant to tell you I created this city out of
Mm,
buildings and monuments from numerous cities. And it basically just says like there's no place on earth that you can't do anything that you want to do. Not a single place on earth you can't move the way you want to move.
yeah.
And so, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, you can be whatever you want to be.
Mhm.
Now, Key came from so people call me Queen, and I wanted a Q as my logo. Something I wanted to find a name that was something dope and I can make a dope logo out of. And the Q is actually my signature. How I write my name is a Q like that, and I
Mm.
E N, Queen. So what ended up happening was I was trying to figure out words that started with Q, and none of them fit what I was trying to do. So I
Okay.
said, you know what? I'm just gonna make up a word, and I came up with key, Qii. I said, you know what? I like it. It's a short, strong word. It doesn't mean anything, but I can make it mean whatever I want. So
Mm.
basically, what key means is to create by accident. It means to, how like they say the best things have been discovered by accident, like penicillin
Yeah.
discovered by accident, the microwave was discovered by accident, popcorn discovered by accident. Um, and so all of these things were accidentally created, but they're like some of the best things on the world. So,
Mm.
he means don't be afraid to fail, because sometimes your failures turn out to make something so great and so beautiful, and it's like, dang, I did that on accident, but it's phenomenal.
Happy ass accidents.
Yes, happy
Hell
accidents.
yeah. Oh, life. It's just crazy because so when I first saw it, I'm like, key. I've seen the word before, but it's like key is like with one eye is another pronunciation of the word chi. So
Yeah.
like, but to hear how like you made this term and embodied it and created in a way that was like completely true to yourself and you lived and breathed definition into this word, and for it to be so closely related to like the full flowing of the chakra waves, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
Like I could
And I'm
only
gonna tell you
imagine.
what's crazy about the logo. So the logo, if you look at it, it's a cube, but if you really look at it, it's a 6, 8, and an 11. So
Mm.
my life path numbers, I'm big on numbers. You know, a lot of people are big on like zodiacs and stuff, but I'm really big on numbers.
Okay.
My life path number is 11. And
Mm.
I had a business partner who does the marketing stuff for me. Her life path number is 8, and 6 life path. The number pretty much means like prosperity,
Okay.
and 11 is like creativeness and things like that. So after I made the logo, like months
Mm.
later, people started like, "Is that an 8? Is it an 8?" And when I started looking at it, I'm like, "Wow, it's an 8 and a 6 and an 11." And then I started looking up these numbers, and I'm like, "Wait, my path number is 11, and 8 is my business partners, and then 6 means prosperity and growth." And I'm like, "This is dope."
It was
And
written.
so that's,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
It was written for real. So I gotta ask you. So
Mhm.
Brooklyn, what's
Yes.
what's what for you? What we all got a foundation. We all have our history, our paths, the things, the stepping stones, the leap paths that help us to culminate ourselves into the people and creators that we're destined to be. Uh, what role does Brooklyn play for you as a creator, as far as even like inspiration or push or drive? How does your home base and where you're from sort of inspire your style even? Because I know, like, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you got like Spike Lee out here, yeah, some very very definitive stylistic visual representation that's known out here. So I know you got some fire in you, and I'm interested. What role has it played for you as a director or filmmaker in this space, especially having to say a lot in a little bit of time? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So Brooklyn, you can't be from Brooklyn and not be a hustler. It's like birth in you. When you're
Mm.
born in Brooklyn, Kings County, it's just like a gene that just comes out with you. It's just this hustle gene. And a lot of people, a lot of artists are from Brooklyn, and they're just phenomenal people. Big J, Busta Rhymes, even like Adam Sandler, like people you would never think, are from Brooklyn, and we have just this type of energy of, we can't give up. And Brooklyn kind of instills that in you, especially when you're from like the hoods of Brooklyn. Like me, I'm from Classen Avenue, from Bed-Stuy. Grew up in the hood. My mom, single parent for a long time, losing her sight. She's blind, and she raised two kids by herself with no vision. And yeah, it's
Shout out
like,
to moms, B.
yeah,
Shout
she
out to
just
moms.
that's where the willpower comes from. That's where the confidence comes from, because my mother, whatever she wanted to do, she did it, no sight or not, and I kind of seen that growing up. Like, this woman is losing job after job after job because she's losing her sight. Over time, every year, her sight was getting worse, and I never seen her, like, at no point, even though she might have had those nights where she just cried and cried. I've never seen that. I've never seen it. And so I'm like, I can't, this little bit of drama, this little bit of issues, these setbacks, I can't let this stuff hold me back. Look at my mother, nice house, good, right now.
That was such a better answer than I didn't know what I was going to get into. That was so crazy, bro. That's nuts.
Yeah.
You're fire as an individual, in my opinion.
But Spike Lee, it's my first inspiration as a little girl growing up, watching this dude from Brooklyn, and then he was making Jordan commercials, and I'm a sneakerhead. So it was like, film, he's from Brooklyn, he's a sneakerhead, he loves Jordans. I'm like, oh man.
I think the thing about Spike Lee is he has certain shots, like a style of shooting that's innately his.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that the subject is moving, but they're not moving no limbs. It's like they're sitting still.
They're
like,
on a walking treadmill type thing.
Like,
yeah,
that's some Spike Lee shit that I never saw before.
Dead into the camera, that's him too.
He expressing that shit like he got game type. Like, there was moments in he got game that was really very visceral for me.
Yeah.
Malcolm X, easily one of the, like, seeing the transformation in Denzel's performance.
Spike put a lot of people on. People don't realize that Denzel started with Spike, Samuel Jackson, Spike, Halle Berry, Spike. He put on a lot of people.
Man, fucking bro, Rosie Perez, Spike,
Wesley Snipes.
Snipes, word.
Yes.
I think, but you know what? The thing that's interesting is that his format for film is traditional, full feature stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a real attention to detail that comes with knowing how to be impactful in a short amount of time.
Yes.
We talking about short films. The one I want to get into, it's called The Sniper.
Mm-hmm.
It was a well received short film.
Mm-hmm.
We got into it briefly a few minutes ago, but they didn't have any. When I went on YouTube for it, it wasn't really like set up for English in any way.
Yeah.
But there was still so much being assumed. So much was being thrown onto the visuals as if I was completely, like, it was my native tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I think filmmakers in this format that I've been experiencing with iF0 and iF0 radio, they've really shocked me as a viewer. Take the CGI away. Everything in this is practical. Everything in this is happening on camera. Very little is happening after we're done with this recording, as far as the visuals of it.
Yeah.
It's a breath of fresh air to me, for real. So, I'm watching mad Christmas movies like every night. Ever since fucking October ended, I threw the Christmas movies on. You feel me? It was over. I did Home Alone 2 last night. because I did Home Alone 1 the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very specific look or like visual appeal of traditional film things, you know, when it's not being on a digital, like it's no SD cards, nothing, it's just straight to a reel. That
Yes,
has a
film.
very specific look or feel
Yeah,
to it, even in the digital remixes.
yeah.
What do you think? Where do you see the opportunities for short filmmakers evolving in the coming years or even in the next few months, with the world being in this place where it's been closed for a while and
Mm-hmm.
viewers of content really don't mind staying home to watch it and binge it?
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling as a creator living in it in Georgia, where it's like y'all got some of the best incentives for film to be made in the whole industry? So
Yeah.
big things is happening all around y'all in your state.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how does it feel for you as a creator in this space and in this industry right now for short format creativity? And do you feel like there's a lot of room for collaboration right now from what you're seeing?
Yes. The biggest thing I'm seeing, which I'm completely happy with, is film is starting to be like music. And
Mm,
in a sense where, see, like in the early 2000s and older, if you wasn't signed to a label, you just wasn't, it wasn't happening for you. You either had to be signed to a label or you had to be like Jay-Z and sell crack and get $100,000 to start a label, to start his own label and, be able to go and sit in Def Jam's office and say, hey, I need a distribution deal. Back
mm,
then, if you didn't have that, it just didn't happen for you. Then music started slowly getting into streaming, which allowed artists to be independent,
yeah,
and they
actually.
can, yeah, they can, and without a label, they can create a tape or album or a single and
Mhm.
upload it themselves
That's what I'm saying.
and win.
Yeah.
And now film is starting to do the same thing, because before it's like you had to have all of this money to make a movie, and then you had to have all of this money to even get a dish. The movie had to have a minimum budget of like 200, 300,000 to even, for a distribution company to even look at you,
Look at it.
to
Damn.
even look at you. And then that slowly, once streaming started coming along, it slowly became, okay, well, I can take, $10,000 and make this movie. It looks like I spent $300,000 on it, and I
Mm,
can upload it to streaming services myself and make $80,000 a year off this one film.
mm.
And that's kind of how things are happening right now. So this is a perfect time, even for short content creators, short films and very short films. Um, because even though short films don't do too well on streaming services, places like YouTube is winning for them. You
Mm.
can get, look at Issa Rae. Issa Rae started a web series called Awkward Black Girl, and it took enough people to see it for HBO to call her phone and say, "Hey, we want to turn Awkward Black Girl into Insecure."
Yeah.
And it's such a big opportunity for people who does small, short content filming, and for them to grow into features and TV shows and series and all type of stuff.
Where do you stand on the one-off short film versus the episodic structure for, say, a television show? And as a creator, like which do you favor more? Do you enjoy that we're gonna go crazy right now for
Yeah.
30 minutes and
Yeah.
leave it be, and hopefully they want a sequel? Or are you more like, we're gonna go crazy for 30 minutes and we got another 30 minutes for you to continue this story? Like do you prefer the one-off or do you prefer the episodic?
I honestly, shooting wise, I prefer the one off, because independently, it's very, very hard to shoot episodes. I've tried it. We're shooting a web series right now, and we've had to change actors several times because actors get pregnant, actors change their hair color, they change their,
Mm,
and it's like all of this stuff because they're growing people, and it's like when you're independent is when I say independent, I mean independent. I don't mean like Deion Taylor independent where he make Black and Blue for $2.5 million. I mean stuff that's less than $10,000, less than $5,000 independently. You can't afford to tell these people, hey, don't change your hair purple this week, or you can't afford to tell people, hey, don't go to work this week, call off these 3 days so that you can make my movie or my episode. It's really hard to do that. It's so hard. So, right now I just stick with the short films because I know I can get an entire short done in a 2-3 day weekend, and I don't have to worry about hair and, weight and pregnancies and drama, and I don't have to worry about anything. 3 days, we get it done, we get a shot, and then you can do whatever you want to do.
Listen, I didn't think about some of the elements of what you just discussed this now before I asked that question. But I'm like, damn, like,
yes.
Like, so to assume that, I'm guessing like for like Marvel or something, big Hollywood blockbuster joint, they write it into their contract. Like you can't change your aesthetic but so much.
Yes.
Type deal.
They have to have permission to do certain things. And, Marvel, see the thing with that, when they shoot those episodes, they'll shoot like a season in a very short amount of time. So they'll work 5 days a week and they'll shoot, in a week's time frame, they might shoot one episode, and then they'll shoot for maybe 13 weeks or 15 weeks or whatever the case. And then they can go and do whatever they want. And then season 2 will come around. If they get greenlit for season 2, then it's like, okay, hey, we got greenlit, go back to whatever. Now, sometimes they might change their hair. So you'll see like, in season 2, their hair is different, but it's a whole different season.
Yeah,
so it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. They'll write it in the script like, oh, I love how you cut your hair. It's easier for them to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come along. Came alive with us.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy William Zillions here with iF0 Radio. Just want you to know that if you want some really cool gear for your favorite independent filmmaker, you should mosey on over to internationalfilmoperations.com and check out our new indie line. So, I think so. I'm a music head. I like music, and I grew up sort of fawning over certain types of prestigious award shows or whatever, like Grammys and all that stuff and all that. What for you do you as a short film creator, is there something that's that like an award that you're sort of interested in, or is there something for you that has this like appeal to you as a creator to achieve, that's maybe like an accolade that it's not the end of the world if it's not that, but if you wanted to, if you was out there, you was doing it, you got it, it'd be pretty good. You have, as a short filmmaker though, is there something that you have your eye on? I'm interested.
Yes. So I'm not really big on awards. Like I love award shows, but as a young Black female in this business, I don't really, put my faith in awards, because sometimes it happens and then 10 years go by and you be like, dang, this is the first Black, female. I'm like, first Black? It's 2022. Like, come on.
Yeah, but wow.
Yes. But as a short film creator, yes. As a short film creator, I really want to make something so dope that it just like everybody is like The Sniper. Everybody's like, did you see this? It looks great. It sounds great. It's a dope storyline. I mean, it really gets you 100% sucked into this movie. And, you're like, oh my God, I'm glad that this didn't happen, because it would have been bad, all the judgments. And I want to have these messages in these movies where it's like, you shouldn't judge things because you think something is going on. Is not, So I just want to make a short film that people just can't get enough of. One of my short films just hit 250,000 views. So it's very hard. It's very hard. It is very hard for people. And I was completely blown away, because one day I was checking and I was like, wait, this has 40,000 views? Yeah. what? And
Yeah,
then
you
a couple
locked in.
months later, I checked back and it was like 100,000. And I was like, what? But I'm excited. They people are loving it, but I'm trying to get that M. I want to get to an M.
Mm. Do you do you have like a list of so much like in that vein of talking about Spike? It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people Spike Lee put on.
Yeah.
Do you have any artists or actors right now that you like feel like you you tend to work with on
Yes.
different things? Do you have like people? Is anybody that we should be looking out for?
Yes. So
Like
there's a girl in all three of my short films, and I actually have a fourth one I'm working on. We're in editing right now. It's called Waikito. It's a little sci-fi film because my goal is to do every type of genre movie. I want people to know that I can write and direct every genre movie.
all
So I
right.
have sci-fi coming out. We're working on edits right now. But this girl is in every single one of my films.
Okay.
Every
And what's
single one.
and
Whether
what's
she
the
has
actress's
a
name?
scene. Her
What's the
name is her name is KT Medina.
KT Medina?
Yeah,
She a
KT.
comedian? She sound like a funny
She's not.
comedian.
She's not a comedian. But she's very young. This is her. If you look at the Things Fall Together poster, that's her.
The
Yes, yeah. It says Coleman up there, but it's Medina.
Medina.
Um, yeah,
Funky
She-
Cole.
yeah. So if you can see,
Yeah.
she's in a bunch of my stuff. She's in every single one of my films.
Well then I think that's like the JDS Silent Bob. Like
It's like
low key.
Spike. I mean, Ryan Coogler has
Mm.
Michael B. Jordan in every one of his films, and a lot of people don't know this, but Sanaa Lathan is in every single one of Gina Prince Blythewood's films except Secret Life of Bees.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Love and Basketball, Disappearing Acts. Even she had a small little role in her movie Beyond the Lights, a very tiny
I don't think I
role where
saw that.
she's on a red carpet, but she's in the film. She's in all of her movies, and I'm like, you know what? I need an actress or an actor that can be in all of my movies. I want to be a Spike Lee and just make these actors great, show their talent.
Would you prefer to remain independent? Or
Yes.
would you prefer to move into a like more mainstream space? Which would you prefer?
I like the independency, and I want to be kind of mainstream. Like Deion Taylor is an independent filmmaker. He's not with Universal. He doesn't make movies for like Universal or Fox. He has a distribution deal through Lionsgate, which helps him get his things in the movies. But that's about it. And then there's a producer named Manny Haley. He does the True to the Game films. Um, he produces all of those, and he's an independent producer.
Okay.
He all of those True to the Game films are all independent. They're really low budget films. One anything less than $2 million low budget.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, it sounds a lot to me because you gave me $2 million, I would do a backflip right here, but it's technically low budget.
Yeah.
It is
It's like
low budget
isn't low
film.
budget considered anything under 5 million?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
So
is crazy.
he's
Which is
shooting.
crazy.
It's crazy. 5 million, like
Well, they used to do million. They used to do 1 million for albums back in the day. For concept videos, all of those
videos used to take 3 days and it would cost $150,000. Busta
running
Rhymes
it up.
video $1 million for that video. But what's funny is like look at Bad Boys. Bad Boys is a low budget film. The original first Bad Boys.
First
No
battle.
one knew who Will Smith was. Will
Mhm.
Smith was a nobody, and he was up and coming. He was a little rapper, up and coming, and James Cameron was a commercial director. He wasn't even
Perspective.
James. Yeah, he wasn't even who he was now. He directed commercials, and they said, "Hey, we'll give you $1 million to shoot this movie. We'll give you $1 million." That's it. Don't ask me for
something
nothing
like,
else.
leave me alone, bro. You
Yes,
know what
don't
I'm
ask me for
saying?
nothing else. $1 million, that's all you get. And so he shot this movie for $1 million. And it became one of the highest grossing, technically, from a low budget standpoint. It grossed so much money, which is why he was able to do, part two, which was like 300 million, and
All the
part three, which
explosions.
was, yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
The Michael Bay angles and shit.
yes.
Hell yeah. That's so crazy thinking
Yeah,
about
Michael Bay directed that. Yeah. First movie, Bad Boys.
they got like it's so crazy to see the evolution of people's careers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like as a creator myself, like I said, I'm not a I wouldn't say I'm a filmmaker. I'm not that at all. I do record content though. So I do episodic. I produce, write, edit. Um, and I'm in TV now and stuff as far as behind the camera stuff.
Okay.
So like I enjoy what I enjoy about it.
Yeah.
So to be introduced to short film creators and their works, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's been a huge eye opener for me. As far as my own personal journey in this, you know what I'm saying? And trying to figure out my space in this creative avenue to at
Yeah.
least be able to like say something on something that's important and fire.
Yeah.
Say like to give something, that's probably a better word. To give something to something that's
Yeah.
fire, so and send it
Yeah.
off. Because I just like the collaboration to me is become such a catalyst for great things that have arrived in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
And from my understanding, film don't really work without a bunch of people coming together to do it.
Correct.
Like as a visionary for yourself, though, living up to this queenly title you've bestowed upon your head. Uh, what do you what do you have coming? I know you said you got the sci-fi film coming, delving
Mhm.
into these different genres after you've completely demolished the sci-fi game. What do you want to go after that? What you got your eye on after sci-fi?
So, I want to do a sports movie, which I have, which is funny because I have a boxing movie that's a short film I wrote, and now I have an investor who wants me to make it a feature.
All right.
So next year we're probably diving into. I'll be back to talk about long-term content.
Yeah, iF0 Radio, ladies and gentlemen. We got the greatest of the greats out here before you know it.
Yes, so that's probably what I have. Well, I have like 5 projects in 2022. All of them are featured films.
Okay.
So the short films, sorry, the short films. I initially started short films because I couldn't afford to do a feature.
Mhm.
And I wanted to show people my skills. I started out shooting music videos. I've shot videos for everybody you can think of. Worked on all these sets with T.I. and Thug and Migos when Migos wasn't even
What it
anybody. They
was,
were
man.
they were Atlanta-based local famous. That was it. Thug, Quan, all Atlanta-based local famous. And I was shooting their videos and they had for $2,000. They had these, I think the most once Fight Night came out, I think that was like a $5,000-$6,000 budget. QC started making a little bit of money, and then Handsome and Wealthy. So they didn't really have the money coming in, but I was shooting videos back then. And then I couldn't get anyone to kind of see my skills and my vision and my abilities as a director. And so I said, you know what? I'm a writer. I can just write my own stuff and shoot my own stuff and put it up on YouTube so the world can see what I can do. And since then, I've shot 4, and the 4th one is gonna be out soon. And now people just call my phone every day to tell me, hey, I have this movie and I want you to direct, or I have an idea for a script. I'm working with Funny Marco right now. We're working on a comedy. I have another IG famous guy I'm working with, and people just call me all the time now, and I'm like, let's do it.
Oh yeah, fuck you mean? I'm here for
Yeah,
this.
let's do it. Hell yes. You want to make a movie? Yes, let's
What
do
up?
it.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Where can people find you? Where can people check you out? I know you got Qii Films. What are the social medias? What are the platforms? Where can we push play and then play again?
So you can go to Qii Films on YouTube. That's QII Films on YouTube. You can check out all of my films there. You can check out my demo reel. Pretty much everything is on there. My Instagram, my personal Instagram is queen_of_Qii, QII. And my business Instagram is Qii_films. So yeah, and then my website is qiifilms.com. You can go in there and check out my my demo reels, and all of my films will be are on the site as well.
Hey man, listen. As a part of this conversation, member contributor of this moment in time right now, I did not know what I was gonna walk into being able to talk to you, right? Like I did not even know that I was gonna enjoy myself, feel as though I had so many points of connection and understanding. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time tonight to talk to me about your
Dude.
creative process. You know, you from Brooklyn. I'm from
Yeah.
the Bronx, 718 the fam. You
Oh,
understand?
okay. Yes.
I'm that's why I was so intrigued. I'm like, oh, she close to the chest. I gotta ask her
Yeah.
questions, you know. Um, I understand that the hunger is an absolute concentrator of focus.
Yes.
I think, you know, you being able to consistency, you know,
That's
consistency is something that
key.
is like,
That's
I
one of
see
the
what you
keys to
did there.
success.
I see what you
Yes.
did
Key.
there. I see what you did there. And you think you slick.
One of the keys. I tell everybody that, because everybody's like, man, how do I? And I'm like, consistency. I don't care if you're not. When I first started, I had 100 views on my first movie, and that was it. It was really just friends and family, and then it just started growing and growing and growing. And even though they're not a lot, it's just I'm still like in the 2,000 marks with most of them. But Situationship has 250,000 views, and
Oh,
it's overseas in India. So I look at the analytics, and right now it's overseas, and that's who's loving it. People in India. And consistency and just dedication is how you succeed out here. That's the only way to win, is when you're consistent. Because T.I. said, and I kind of changed it around. T.I. said, what did he say? What did he say? Hoes don't want to be with men who hoes don't want. Something he said like that, right?
yeah. It's
But
on
I
effect.
changed it. People don't want to work. People want to work with people who are working. So if you look like you're working, if you look at it, even like Instagram is like the biggest flex of all. You don't know what people going through in their life, but if they look like they're doing something, everybody wants to work with you. And that's the key to the game. As long as you stay consistent and look like you're doing something, it will come. Yes. I remember I was shooting things for free, and people thought I had all of this money. And I'm like, y'all have no clue that I'm really on this set for free, but it looks good for Instagram.
Yeah.
And what happens is when people go down your page and they say, dang, she's doing this and this and this, I know when I come to her, I can't be cheap. So I have to pay her what I feel like she's worth, or what she's asking me for. So you just gotta really just stick out the grind. And if you're passionate about it, don't worry about money or anything like that. It's gonna come.
But you wasn't doing it for free. You was charging it to the game. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? That's
Correct.
the thing. You was charging it to the game, and the game has some debt to pay. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I
And
think
they're
that's
paying
the
it back now.
real,
It's
like,
it's I don't even have a 9 to 5 anymore. You know, that's how blessed I am. It's just I quit my job in 2018. I've just been 100% full time at this since 2018 with no part-time job, and it's been amazing.
Listen, I hope that the listeners listening right now, iF0 Radio, you know, I'm of a certain age range, but I hope that there's some young listeners out there tapped in, listening to some of these jewels, these gems, these diamonds out here the queen has given us. Consistency is key. Quality above all the quantity, but it needs to be a lot of quantity.
Yes.
you gotta stay 10 toes down in your passion, regardless. Charge it to the game. They're not gonna see you until they see you. But when they see you, they gonna see everything.
Everything. That is a fact.
Like, you can't lose unless you choose to. As a creator in all mediums, this is iF0 Radio. My name is William Zillions. I'm a lover and fan of film and music and all creationables. But also I'm a creator myself. And I know that some days the sun rises a little faster than others.
Yes. And
it sets a little quicker than others too. Everything that stays, the only thing you can control is yourself. I urge you, stay entirely entrenched in your passion and your pursuit of everything that you're after, and never let no inch of cup or spill of doubt ever overrule you.
Yes.
Here's the mind killer and nothing more.
Yes, amazing.
Fucking the queen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I'm saying, you gotta give it up.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
I appreciate that. I appreciate being here, man. This is great.
One more time. So Qii Films. Let's run through the socials. I want to make sure we get them before we go, and we got to do that so the people get to where the people need to be.
Yeah. QiiFilms.com, QiiFilms.com. That's the website. That's my YouTube. That is my Instagram, and my personal Instagram is queen_of_Qii. Queen of Qii.
All right, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got some socials for you as well. I got a job to do. This is iF0 Radio, International Film Operations. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook under that name. On Instagram, it is at int.film.operations. On Twitter, it's INT Film Op, and that's INT Film OP. And they have a film freeway if you're interested in that level of dedication to fanship, which, and if you are, I'm very much appreciative of you. And that's filmfreeway.com.ifo. We're everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you, because for these shows, what I'm willing to give and guarantee is that the people that we bring into y'all, the creators that we're getting the chance and opportunity to say hello to, they're special. Yeah. They one-on-ones. The stuff they doing out here is different.
Yeah.
I appreciate your energy, madam. Thank you so much for taking the time to rap with me.
No problem.
I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna take some time to look through your catalog as well, because I'd love to talk to you more and like be nosy.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been real.
Likewise.
Travel safe. Have a wonderful Friday.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And be bold, stay true, and never cease.
Yes.
Bitch, why you hating? Get better informed. No room to slip when the pressure is on. You wasn't with it to move it along. I said, excuse me, you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world, on span, cross the map. I've been laying low and now it's time to pop up, bitch, I'm back. Now I'ma run it up. Snooze on the kid that you dumb or what? You better go get your numbers up.